Yay, more Space Marines. This time we're doing Angels of Absolution. Alright, like always, we start out with the base coat. And since we're going up to such a light color, starting with a dark primer, it's usually good to lay it on little layers at a time. Don't try to get it all in one spray. Go around the model just to kind of get some color on it. Let it dry a little bit using the air from the airbrush to help dry those areas, and put on a couple thin layers. It's just like brush painting. It's better to go on with multiple thin layers than trying to get it all done at once. Now it's time for the 45-degree angle for the second highlight, or the first highlight actually, second color. And you're going to see me focus on certain parts of the model, like the front of the shoulder pads and the face and the front of the backpack, things like that I like to pick out, and it'll be refined even more with the next highlight. All right, and now we're ready for the final highlight before we get into edge highlighting stuff. But this is the last highlight you will be doing with an airbrush. And if you actually pay attention to where I'm highlighting, I'm bringing, certain points of interest out and telling the person who's looking at the model where the light's coming from. And some of it may not be accurate as far as where the light would be falling, but I think it makes it look interesting depending on the way that you do it. And I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. And to create our save point, so if we make any mistakes, we got some kind of a barrier, we're putting on the matte varnish. Matte varnish? What? You always do gloss. Well, we're not doing an oil wash in this tutorial. Now we get into painting all the black bits, and we're not using black. That's crazy, right? No, we're going to use a heavy charcoal, which is a black gray, almost black color, but it's something that you can do. And once you do your highlights, if you're not really liking the contrast or there's not enough definition in there, you can go all over it with a black wash and you'll actually see it, sort of, because it's pretty dark gray. But kind of getting out of the habit of painting things completely black when they're supposed to be black, just to give the eye some kind of color to look at. All right, time to line highlight all these black areas now. You're seeing this brush that I'm using is pretty ridiculous. It's an old brush that I had that has probably, I don't know, maybe 10 hairs in it, probably less than that by the end of this tutorial. The trick with doing fine lines using a brush this small is to dilute a lot using a slow drying medium or something like that that'll prevent the paint from drying, so that way the little bits of paint that you do have on the end of the brush, because that thing virtually has no belly to hold paint, you're just using whatever's left on the tip there. That's pretty much the trick. Is I think I use like 5 drops of slow dry to 1 drop of paint, and I dip the brush in there, and it may take a couple times to bring the highlight out, but you have so much control getting those edges. You'll like it. Try it out. All right, now it's time to paint the lenses. I also use that dark charcoal color to base the lenses, and as you can see, I made a mistake on the left eye, kind of went out of that lens area, but I'm going to show you how to fix that because we're going to be doing a highlight over there. I decided using goblin green was probably the better color to use here. I tried to use a dark green, but it was really showing up, and for tabletop, 2 colors, you're fine. And the highlight for the lens, that green working toward the front, of course, is going to be livery green or livery green, whatever that is. It's an awesome green. It's the brightest green that's in the game color line. So yeah, that'll be the final highlight. If you want to do the little white dot we do next, you can. If not, I don't think anyone's going to be mad at you. For all you guys training your steady hands, it's white dot time for the lens. So again, if you're going to use a really tiny brush, use that slow dry, abuse it. use it to your advantage whenever you have anything really intricate to do, freehand, lining, all that stuff. It's great. And oh yeah, don't put your white away. No, we're not done at all. As you can see by my shaking of the bottle, we're gonna use that to line all the armor because it looks great when you line the that bone color with white. And so I'm gonna bring out the top of the nose and all a bunch of these different areas that I use this white. And it's kind of a long section, but I figured, if you see where I'm putting it, you can kind of get an idea of where to put your line highlights. All right, all done with edge highlighting. Now we're going to do the opposite. And this is, I guess people call it lining the model. You're applying the wash directly into the cracks where you want it. If you're doing a whole army, you probably want to do the oil wash route just to, save yourself some madness. But I know there's some people out there that like to spend a lot of time even on their troop models. And this is an option. And I've been doing this on my models, and I really wanted to show you guys how sharp things get when you paint your edge highlighting and then you do this to complement it, because usually wherever you have an edge highlighting, wherever your details at is usually just down from it, so they balance off of each other, where the dark color makes the brighter color brighter and the brighter color makes the dark color darker, so it brings that detail out even more. And then if you're messy, with your cleanup and you try to apply a wash or something and the wash gets into, a groove or something that you made with your file, I mean, it's a pain. Even though this takes longer, I think there's less prep work that you need to do because you're applying everything exactly where it's supposed to be. So this is just another option. All right, now we're gonna paint the side pieces of the gun here, the bolter. When I was painting the hand separately or whatever, I decided, okay, let's not try to like protect the gun. Let's go ahead and spray that bright color on there. And I planned on using Scarlet, and Scarlet is a Model Air red that's pretty much transparent. So I was gonna use that transparency to keep that red super bright, and that's pretty much what I did to it. Didn't do anything else to that red on the gun. I just basically coated it with Scarlet until I had somewhat of an even red. Scarlet is the magic. If you're doing anything red and you want to start off with a bright red and then lay your shadows in or whatever, Scarlet is fantastic. All right, here's the task for you guys. I'm using the Vallejo Model Air gun, and I know you've heard all the praise and stuff. Next time you use Model Air, metallics specifically, put a couple of drops of alcohol into the paint and see what happens. Then apply it. Just tell me what your results are. That's kind of what I did here. Is I have alcohol mixed into it, and it's going on very nice. It's super, super thin, and it takes like a couple coats to get it on. I kind of fibbed it on the backpack here, and you see it in the final pictures where I didn't spend a lot of time on the metal. I just wanted to get it done. The codex shows the backpack's supposed to be completely black, but that was just kind of boring to me. But definitely try it out, and if you've invested in these metallics, doing the alcohol thing makes them that much better. Then again, doing the alcohol additive into the chrome will make that stuff actually like chrome. You'll see the paint kind of separate, and what floats to the top looks like liquid chrome. That's the stuff that you want to dip your brush into and apply on your edges of your metallics, and to bring out the shine wherever the light's showing you that you should be highlighting. I mean, the light's your friend on a lot of this stuff, especially on metallics, to know where things are supposed to be gleaming from. Now it's time to base coat that little pouch there. I went beastie brown. I wanted to go khaki. That's what I usually use for my leather bits, just because I don't like it to be that saturated. But we already used khaki. I wanted you to be able to see this and not have it blend in with the actual paint job on the armor. I think it worked out. And then we base coat the grenade. To bring out some detail real quick, we just use some of the Vallejo wash called Black Shade and just apply that where it's supposed to be, pushing the wash into all the details. And now it's time to highlight those things. And I chose bone white and again thinned it a lot heavily with a slow dry. Trying to get it there on the edges and also using it on the grenade because it's kind of a neutral color. You can get away with highlighting both of those two different colors with that same color. I know I didn't film it, but the purity seal is painted again with that scarlet that we used on the gun. The papers are just painted with dead white. Basically, that's it. And then you can take your little Sakura Micron pen and do your writing, or if you have steady hands, use black paint and slow dry and scribble on some writing.